the bubble went through. So they had to tell me then, hey, we gotta, you're not good to go. So I had to take a year before I can have another surgery. Because
why did it take a
because
year?
that patch had to be completely healed before they can go back in.
But all this time you knew you had a hole.
Right. So they knew I had a hole because of the heart surgery.
Right, but all this time, like when you're waiting for it to
Yes.
heal, you know you have an extra hole.
Yes, I know I have a hole. Yes.
What were you allowed to do with your body then?
Well, at that time, they go, do how you feel comfortable. And so, the hole's not going to kill you right now. But you can't dive, you can't jump. I pretty much wasn't a SEAL anymore, so I was a recruiter for a period of time. So basically, I was crazy about that. Is before my second surgery, I was actually training for Delta Force. I wanted to go to Delta, and I was ruck running a lot. And before my second
ruck running, you mean you're running with a pack on?
Yeah, a pack on my back with some weight on it.
How heavy is the pack?
50, 60 pounds.
And you run with that on?
Well, you're supposed to hike or hump, like ruck humping.
Right.
I ran with it because that's what I did.
Right.
So the day of heart surgery, I did a ruck run.
Jesus
because
Christ.
I knew I was gonna be out of commission for a while. So fuck it, man. I gotta get my last one in, dude.
Jesus Christ.
So all I could do, I have my training log. So after my second heart surgery, all I could do was walk. So I became an ultra walker.
Wow.
Fucking walked my fucking ass off. And over a period of time, it took a year for that thing to heal up and to heal. My first bubble study after my second heart surgery came back negative or positive. The bubble went through again.
Oh, no.
And they're going to have to crack me open.
Oh, man.
But over that period of time, my heart healed around that thing nicely. And I passed the second bubble test.
So the first bubble test was how long after? A year?
It was, so the first bubble test after the first surgery was
Right.
6 months.
And then you had to go through a full 6 months after that for it to
Right.
totally heal. Then you have the second heart surgery.
Right.
And when does the bubble test fail after the second heart surgery?
It was about 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
And they said, and the doctor looked at me and said, I'm sorry to inform you, man, we have to crack your chest open the next time to really get in there. And so I sat back thinking this could be a third heart surgery. And then
that one.
they said we have to wait for 6 months to see if this thing's going to close up.
Right.
And I came back thinking, man, I'm about to get cracked the fuck open, and that bubble got pinned up, man.
Wow.
Didn't go through.
Maybe force it through with your mind.
I know, right?
Pulls that bitch up. When you're visualizing.
That's it, man.
That's something to visualize. Holy shit, man. That is crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy you went on a ruck run with a hole in your heart, too.
Well, I did it for several years. So I said, fuck it. I might as well keep on going, man.
That's amazing. Now, after all said and done, everything's good now?
Yeah, everything's, I'm sure something must have popped up in my fucking ass, not to do that, everything's good right now. I'm always waiting for the next thing to pop up, and I handle it the same way. I'll attack it. But yeah, as of right now, I'm in the best shape. I'm 43 years old, just turned 43, February 17th. I am in the best shape of my life. I'm not knocking on wood because fuck it, life comes at you, dude. So
Right.
fuck knocking on wood, come at me.
I mean, I would think that you would be a go-to guy for injuries.
Yeah,
Like if anybody's
I had them all, dude. I've had them all.
When you broke the world record for chin-ups, didn't you rip your arm apart?
Pull-ups, yeah. So if you pull up the picture, man, there's a picture of my hand. You'll see, I don't know.
What is it? Pull-ups are...
So pull-ups are here.
Hands out.
Yeah, hands out.
And chin-ups are hands forward.
Right, hands forward.
Okay.
So I failed 3 times. I failed twice before I finally got it the third time. And the first time I ripped the shit out of my forearm. And then the second time, you'll see there's a picture of my hand, and it's a 3rd-degree burn. So that's my hand.
Oh, Jesus, man. What in the fuck is going on? It looks like you got bit by a wolf.
So what's funny about that is you see that that doesn't create after one pull-up. So if you can imagine the pain of, because you have one contact point. That's it. Like running, you can overcome it because you have these big giant legs and it's different. When you have these little fragile punk-ass hands touching the bar, imagine 4,030 pull-ups, how many times you're coming on that bar, coming off.
Right.
And I weighed 207 pounds at the time. So I was a bigger guy. I'm like 195 or 185 now. So I was 22 pounds heavier. So I was a lot bigger there. I am right there.
Yeah,
Bam.
you look pretty thick.
Get that shit, man.
So you were doing it in sets of 5?
Sets of 5. So, and as you see, I have these different people who are witnessing you. You have to have your number there to make sure that you're, qualified for the Guinness Book of World Records. That's 1450. I have a long way to go. I have another 4,015 pull-ups to go right there.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah.
And how long did you do this over? 24 hours?
It was 7. So I broke 17? It at 17.
Wow.
And I was fucking over it.
What did it feel like on the last chin-up?
You know what? Actually, there's a video that we have, and I was chasing this guy named Stephen Highland. So this guy named Stephen Highland had the record. And the video is my last 3 pull-ups before I broke the record. I'm talking so much shit to this motherfucker. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you thought I wasn't going to get it, huh? I told you, bitch-ass motherfucker, I'm coming after you. I'm here now. It's just me talking shit. It's a cool video, but I felt nothing. I was just happy that I had to do any more. I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months.
Jeez.
In training Christ. For a record for 4,000. And the failures, so I did the first time in September, failed miserably on this day. So I did 2,588 or some shit like that. Failed miserably for millions of people. 2 months later, November, tried again, failed again. 2 months later, in January 19th, I finally fucking got it. So after I got it, it wasn't like I'm happy. It was like, I ain't got to do more fucking pull-ups anymore. Roger that. That's all it was. I had to fucking check that bitch off, man.
But you were doing them when I got here today.
You know why? Because now it's a part of me, dude. It's a part of me, man. I don't like doing them, so we're gonna knock some out.
You don't like doing them, so you got to do them.
And that's my whole life.
Isn't it like someone gets drunk on a certain whiskey, like if they smell it, they'll get disgusted? Like
right.
It's like Jägermeister or something like that. If they smell it and they'll, ugh.
Right.
Is that what it's like with you with chin-ups?
With a lot of things.
With pull-ups?
With a lot of things.
With a lot of things
yeah.
now, right?
I don't like running. I don't like, and people don't believe it, but I was a big guy twice in my life. So hence the reason why I just don't like running, man. It hurts. It's brutal. It sucks going out, and I'm going to be gone for 2 hours, or I'm going to be gone 39 hours.
Right.
Running on a 1 mile track. Who the fuck? I'm not crazy, man. That shit sucks. I mean, people put me in this category of, you must be some crazy guy who loves
right.
it. No, man. No, that's why I do it, though. That's the only way to callous your fucking brain, man. It's the only way to get hard in life. People take these classes on mental toughness. Like even SEALs, you have the class about visualization, self-talk, eat an elephant one bite at a time, breathing control. Yeah, roger that. You got to put yourself in a hellacious situation. It's a lifestyle. How are you going to react? How are you going to react? Like all that training goes out the fucking door when you're in the fucking cold water and you're fucking miserable, and it's the first hour of 130 hours of Hell Week, and that first wave goes over your head, and you're the coldest you've been in your life, and your mind goes from hour 1 to hour 1 30. All that fucking self-talk and shit, dude, you ain't thinking about that. You think about getting the fuck out of here. But if you live this shit on a daily basis and you know how to calm your mind down, the self-talk will help. All that stuff will help. But usually we react. We have pain, we have suffering, we react. And we react about, get the fuck out of here. We got to go. It's those people who are able to control that fucking feeling of fucking flight and say, nah, motherfucker, there's a way through this. It's not going to be here forever. I'm not cold right now. I went through 3 of them. I'm not cold now. I'm in a nice warm studio with you. You got to think about that shit. The shit's going to end. It's going to end, but we don't know that. We don't think that. At that time, it's going to last forever. And then you get to sit back on Friday with everybody walking across the, back on the grinder, all the 16, 17, 18 guys that graduated Hell Week, and you get a chance to watch these guys victorious. And then you get the chance to think about that. You take that hot, warm shower, first thing that comes to your fucking mind is, why the fuck did I quit? So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. And it's a lifetime of thinking about, why the fuck did I do that? And I ain't fucking doing that no more.
There's something about talking to a guy like you that a lot of people hope that you're going to say some magic thing that's going to click in their brain.
Everybody
and
wants
it's change who they are. Like, what is it? What is the thing? That's why people go to these self-help conferences and they take these classes and they hope that someone's going to say something that changes the way their mind works.
It's hilarious to me.
It is. It's kind of hilarious to me too. But what is also hilarious is that what you're saying is that you have to do those things. You have to suffer. You have to live in it. You have to be comfortable in it. And then maybe some of that shit will help you a little bit along the way.
Period. And when I was a SEAL recruiter, I got invited to MIT. Smart ass motherfuckers there, man. I'm not that. I'm just a good animal. I'm a knuckle dragger. And there was this guy there, I forget his name, but he was like the top head guy. Old white guy, all geniused out. And we were on this panel, and they were asking us all these questions about the mind, mental toughness and shit, and he was answering them. And I wasn't answering many questions. And I'll never forget, he was just answering them off of theory. He never put his fucking ass in shit. You read a bunch of fucking books, and you think that you know how the fucking mind works and shit. I'd have gone through hell since a kid, and then all the way up until now.
Right.
So I know. So that theory is bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there you can read from people, but I had lived hell. And when you put yourself in hell, that's the only time you can figure out how the fuck to get through that motherfucker. You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do shit, some guy who sat up in their nice warm office and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. And he thought about quitting and leaving and his wife and his kids. And why am I here? Is it worth it? All this crazy shit. And still said and found out a way to get through it. So basically that's the bottom line of it all. We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sort of shit is so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you I say it all the time, you have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your fucking brain so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. You may forget it for a second, but you can go back in the cookie jar, I call it. It's something that we've all endured. I call it the cookie jar, and we often forget how hard we are, but you got to reflect back. Take a couple seconds to reflect. I've been through this, I've been through that. And then remind yourself, I'm a bad motherfucker. And then you can get through that shit. But if you don't believe it, you haven't endured shit, you're just blowing smoke, man. And you're not going to be able to get through anything.
What was this guy saying? Like, what was his theories that he was throwing out there?
His theories was about, I forget exactly what it was, but it was something about what the mind does under stress. And how we can't, he said how we can't do something. And I did it. I did what he said we couldn't do.
Like, what was he saying you couldn't do?
It was something about if you're born a certain way, it's something about if you're born a certain way, you can't become this way. And it was totally saying that with who I am now, like I had to be born with some, not genetic power or some gift from God, but I had to have some kind of special gift.